Yes, here we are once again. If you're watching this live, that can mean one thing. It is time for the High Noon Hemp Show because it's noon Eastern Time on a Wednesday. Of course, you can find us in many places, whether you're watching live or video on demand. If you want to do it on Facebook, that's the Temptations Beach Facebook page. YouTube is the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel and at Temptations on Twitter. The podcast, search the High Noon Hemp Show on Podbean, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. I'm, of course, Stoner Jesus. I do various things on the interwebs that you can search. Excuse me. He is Beach. He is high above the Temptations in Sharonville, Ohio, at the Hemp Quarters. Beach, how are things this week in the world of Temptations?
About to get cold, I reckon.
Mm.
Beyond the bad news that going on in the state of Ohio, which I will get to one way or another. But we're just kind of chugging along, and we had a 50-degree day yesterday. That was kind of nice, but now we're going to get down into the 20s, I think. And so, trust me, you're gonna want to stay tuned to the "What are you wearing?" Beach segment, because it's getting cold for sure outfit, one way or another. Remember, folks, the FDA has not evaluated this show for safety or efficacy. Let's all read the iHemp Revolution Pledge of Hemp. I pledge allegiance to the hemp fields of America and to the soil in which it is planted. One seed under the sun, with responsibility, sustainability, and thrivability for all. All right. Let's jump. I think the YouTube is maybe doing something funny. Who knows? I don't know. Um, but
This is good,
if you're
man.
watching, I watch the YouTube feed. So if you're on the channel Jedi Channel Hemp feed and you're watching live, I can see your comments there. And of course, if you comment on the Facebook page, those will pop up on the screen for all to see if you wish to comment. But let's jump right into the product spotlight. What I call 4 from the store, 1 from my door. And I have decided to self-promote everything that Hemptations has today. All 4 products are going to be from our line. The very first one is the tincture and the gummies, the CBD, I should say. Let me clarify. This is our CBD line of products. We make a tincture from 300, 600, 900 to 1200. We do gummies, which are 10 milligrams per piece, in a 300, a 600, and a 900, which is really just a quantity. You obviously get 30 in the small one and 90 in the big one. So there you have it. That's the Hemptations brand CBD. We also, of course, still doing the Delta 8, which is still very semi-popular, in that medium range of effects, I should say. Here we do a 300 and a 600 gummy and a 300 and a 900 tincture. And of course, you can take that tincture and add it to anything you want. You can put that pretty much. It's, our tinctures are all hemp oil based. So you're getting, what's in that bottle is 100% hemp, CBD and hemp oil. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. And so you can add that. Add that tincture to just about anything. Now, hemp oil is not water soluble because it's a fatty uh, oil, so to speak. And so, adding it to drinks is a little bit more difficult. I will say it does kind of mix in. And someday I'm going to go back and find a picture I have of adding a tincture to my coffee. And under the sunlight, it made this really cool pattern. You obviously want to make sure you drink everything that you add it to. And probably, give it a little stir if you wanted to add the tincture to a drink, just to kind of get it to mix a little bit. So anyway, there you have it. That's the Hemptations brand Delta 8 products. And of course, we have the big Hemptations brand Delta 9, the big stuff, 100% legal, extracted from industrial hemp, um, federally protected, one way or another. And we do the same thing with the Delta 9s we do basically, and a 600 gummy. Now, those gummies, I believe, are actually 15 milligrams per when it comes to the THC and the Delta 8. And then we also do the tincture, which is the 3 or the 9. And once again, you can add that to anything you want. Drop it on a cracker, whatever. We recommend, because it's the quickest way to get it into your system, and that's why we do a tincture, is sublingual. Just put it under the tongue, let it sit there for as long as you can, let it get absorbed in, swallow the rest down, and that will be the quickest way to get it into the system. And then gummies are good for that too. And the reason gummies are good for that, because you want, if you're chewing up a gummy, you want to chew that gummy up really well in your mouth, and then again that gets it going kind of sublingually, as well as then we'll start getting it running through your gut system, as I like to call it, in a very unmedical way. So there's the Delta 9 tincture and gummies. And then, of course, we have cartridges for the 510 batteries, and we do both Delta 8 and Delta 9 in the cartridges. We have 5 flavors of Delta 9. A little low. I need to place an order today for Delta 9 because that stuff's like really popular, because it's cheaper than going anywhere else, the dispensary or whatever. And again, 100% legal, extracted from industrial hemp. And so no worries there, but super popular product, no doubt about it, one way or another. Now, the one from my door this week is actually 2 from my door because these 2 go together so well. This is my 420 KGB 420 snowboard, and again, it's got hemp, like a layer or 2 of hemp in the board, and then those are Nike hemp snowboard boots. The only thing I'm missing is hemp bindings, and a company did make them, and I can't find them anymore. But there was a company that was actually making hemp bindings for snowboards, and again, this was probably 10 years ago, at least. But I have not been able to find them since. The straps were made out of hemp to hold your boots in and whatnot. And so there you have it on the product spotlight here on the High Noon Hemp Show. 4 from my store. Well, it is my store. 4 from the store, but two from my door, as you can see. Part of the largest personal collection of hemp on the planet. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. Still not recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records. They're off doing underpants records and things like that. I'm sure they're super busy. All of their people, they can't be bothered with the largest private collection of hemp things in the world. But that's fine. I'll keep bugging them. I don't care. I got nothing better to do than to tweet at Guinness Book of World Records and aggravate them. So if you've got all the underpants stuff covered, you can come over here and check out the hemp stuff. We have, as I said, and I've said every week, we chronicle the massiveness of Beach's hemp collection every single week. Over 5 years now, we have video proof of it. If they want me to send it to them, I can. I mean, they can come over and verify themselves. Whatever they want to do, just hit me up. Let me know. Which, of course, brings us to the aforementioned beachwear segment. It is getting cold, so if you're wondering what Eskimo beach would look like, well, now you're going to find out when I ask, what are you wearing beach?
That's Intuit. Eskimo, I have been told, is actually an offensive term. So,
I'm going to get angry
emails. Intuit. Oh, no. Right?
Don't send me angry emails.
There you have it. It's true. If you're wondering, what are you wearing, beach, when it's really cold? Now you'll know. So on top there, underneath the hood of my jacket, is a Smokin' Snowboards grassroots hat. That is a Holden jacket, and Holden is a huge, big name in the skiing snowboard world. And I ski. I'm a skier, actually. I have never found any hemp skis. I do believe someone was making hemp skis, but I don't have a pair at one point or another. Underneath it all, with the long sleeve, is my 4Hemp long sleeve shirt. And then the green tee is actually, this is a new one to the What Are You Wearing Beach segment. Never worn this particular shirt before because this is part of my I can't believe these were boxed up for 10 years collection of hemp clothing, which I found another box of. um, these are all from when I moved out of the O'Brienville. I used to live above the O'Brienville store years ago. This was all these boxes that I've been going through. And again, I love these shirts. I just cannot believe that I haven't had this. So anyway, it's Menastash. Menastash. I'm not really sure. 20 years now, I still don't know how to pronounce it, and I should. And of course, it's Native American, so how they pronounced it, who knows? Who knows? Those ski pants, those are also made by Holden. Kind of came as a pair. I found both of them about the same time with the jacket and the pants, one way or another. You will notice that I don't have my Green Springs Technology pen in my pocket because if I was going skiing or going snowboarding, I would not go with a pen in my pocket. That would be a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. I don't fall much, but anyway. And so this is probably in 5 years, one of the only What Are You Wearing Beach segments where I don't have my Green Springs Technology pen on me. But underneath all that, is that green pair up there. Those are Hempest long johns. I kind of folded them to make it, better to put in the picture. But those are full length, long underwear, so to speak, as you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. I don't know why everything's named after John anyway, but that's what we always called them. The socks, those are knee high. Yep, knee high Satori cantilever socks, and then my Wicked boots, Wicked Hemp, and I need to check. Wicked Hemp was supposed to release a new line of shoes and boots, hemp shoes and boots, but I don't know that they have. So I'm gonna double check on that and see where they're up with their new line. We have some of these in the store here in Sharonville. We have a small selection, maybe. I'm not sure how many pairs of boots we have left, but I do feel like we should have some, possibly. Unless they all sold and I just didn't know it. It's very possible as well. So there you have it, folks. If you're wondering, what are you wearing at beach? Now you know, here on the High Noon Hemp Show. That being said, let's check out a little trailer for the movie The Hemp Quest, and then on to some news.
Epic stuff.
There you have it, folks. There you have it, the Hemp Quest. And of course, we don't have a store in Dayton anymore, unfortunately. And we don't carry all of those products anymore because I made these trailers, I don't know, 7 years ago or so. But I think you get the point. Clearly illustrates hemp on a quest still here in the higher area of Cincinnati, one way or another. Well, let's start with the major bad news in Ohio. Our illustrious moral Governor DeSwine has decided that he is going to the first.
Whoop. What is happening? Beach is turned on his side. That's never happened before. You there, Beach? Cannot hear anything. And you're on your side. I'm not sure what happened. Cannot hear you. Nothing in here. A new technical issue. Beach has fallen over and gone silent. I don't know. I didn't think that we could have any new technical issues, but here we are on another one I've never seen before. I'm not sure what has happened. But hopefully we can get it figured out. Still no audio from you, Beach. And you're still on your side for some odd reason. I don't know what's going on. I'm at a loss. I have no idea. Still nothing coming through. It's very bizarre. I'm not sure. Some of the technical issues we've had on this show. I do other shows with StreamYard with other people, and there's technical issues. Obviously, there's always a lot of them, because the nature of what we're doing here. But it's weird. The last month or two on the High Noon Hemp Show, I've seen technical glitches and issues I've never seen before. Like one episode, me muting Beach, actually muted the mic on his end, which seems impossible. I don't know how that happened. There's times when I'll bring up a picture and Beach's mic will just go silent and we won't be able to hear him. I don't understand. We'll see if we can get Beach here and see if he's right side
Tell me
up.
I'm here. Hey,
I
whoa,
can
hey,
hear
I think
you
I'm back.
and you're right side up. There we go. Now we're
Hey, I'm
working.
not sideways anymore. I went sideways. That was, again, folks,
It's
first
so
time
weird.
ever. If you're watching the show, that was a new glitch. Never seen on the High Noon Hemp Show.
That's
So,
crazy.
don't know what that was about, but I'm back. So anyway, Governor DeSwine is working on trying to make all intoxicating hemp, and that's the new term. That's Delta 8 and Delta 9 and all these. That's what that's how they're referring to them now is intoxicating hemp. I do believe if he tries to make them illegal, that will not hold. Because once again, I know for a fact the state of Ohio, our controlled substance list parallels the federal controlled substance list. Okay, therefore, you can't put something. I don't believe you can actually add something to the controlled substance list in Ohio unless it's actually been added to the controlled substance list in the federal law, from my understanding. Okay, one way or another. Once again, 100% legal. And he's talking about 12-year-olds getting Delta 9 products. And again, that is a complete fabrication of the truth. Yes, there are no age limits, but no one is selling Delta 9 gummies to 12-year-olds. That's absurd. That's absurd. Okay. That is the old fear mongering way. That's what Florida is trying to do too. Hundreds of kids sent to the hospital with blah 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 blah. And again, that's just fear mongering. Again, if kids, you blame the parents, not the kids. How's a 12-year-old getting to the store? Anyway, and I think that hopefully, if anything, what this turns out to be, and we'll see, because he wants to do something about it pretty quickly. I think, hopefully, and again, call dog, tell them this is ridiculous not to make them illegal. This is 100% federally legal products, and to make them illegal in Ohio would be ridiculously dumb. Age restrictions, I'm not against that, honestly. If they need to do something, then put age restrictions on it. But don't tell adults that we can't have these because it's ridiculous. We have legal cannabis for recreational purposes. We can carry 1.5 ounces of flower on us now, 100% legal in the state of Ohio. Okay, we have a medical system that's been going. It's not the best, but it's not. It's getting better every day. Um, and so we have that. So I don't understand why we can't let adults just choose to walk into any store that they want to. Not just a recreational store, but any store, and get these products, which are once again 100% federally legal. All of them. I showed you the list, all derivatives, all isonomers, all this, all that, everything. Once it has passed the test, okay, once that flower has passed the test of less than 0.3% THC in it, you can do anything you want with that, and it's 100% federally legal. That's the law, folks. Okay, every state that has tried to make any cannabinoid extracted from industrial hemp illegal, it's been turned over in a Supreme Court of the state or whatnot. Okay, which is why most states, I think, are going to age restrictions. This is going to be, I suppose, this is going to be the year.
Well, frozen beach, maybe. Beach seems to be frozen in a very weird facial expression. Again, I'm at a loss with the technical issues. Usually I'm pretty good. Like, I've been doing this a long time and I can troubleshoot things, but these are just like weird glitches and things that come up. Why, I don't know. We'll see if we can regain connection with Beach. At least not my end. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell if I'm still broadcasting or what. The glitches on the stream or the glitches coming from the connection with Beach, I'm not sure. It's been a weird day so far with the connection to Beach. Usually there's a little thing that comes up that tells me if my connection is bad, like the actual internet connection here is bad and it's having a problem with the streaming. I'll get a little thing that says, hey, your internet is not doing well. But I'm not getting that. So I think the problem is coming from Beach's end. But again, I'm not 100% sure. I said there's been technical issues I have never seen before in the last couple months. Just weird things. And the tech issues continue here on the High Noon Hemp Show. If you're joining us, you're watching live, check the bottom for the scrolling of where the locations are for Hemptations. Yes. Yes, he's Beach has gone. We got Beach back. There's Beach. Now I can hear Beach. Now we're back. Let me just go and fix that. There we go. Nope. Now the audio is gone again. What is happening? I don't understand. I don't understand what is happening. And now we have no audio from Beach. I don't know. I'm at a loss of what is happening. Like, Beach is frozen again. The audio is gone again. I just don't know. We're just trying to tell people about hemp. That's all we're trying to do. It's not like we're on here fomenting violence or whatever. We're talking about hemp. I don't understand. We just can't get it out there. The information, the entertainment, everything hemp related. Anyway, if you're in the Cincinnati area, scrolling along the bottom, the locations of Hemptations, make sure you check out one. North side is a little farther south. Sharonville is a little farther north, depending on where you are. And we're going to be, maybe passing through Sharonville or passing through North side. Stop by the Hemptations. Check out what's in there. And, of course, spread the word about the High Noon Hemp Show. Just the sheer number of technical issues during an episode will blow your mind. Tell your friends. You want to see two people struggle through technical issues? Tune in to the High Noon Hemp Show every Wednesday at noon Eastern Time. And behold, what we got going on here. Today's particularly bad for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe some nefarious people trying to keep us from talking about hemp. I don't know. See if we have Beach back.
Hey, hello.
There we go. We can
Oh,
hear and see Beach again. All right. Oh my.
totally my internet here again. I'm ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I cannot tell you how ridiculous my internet can be here sometimes. For the amount of money that I pay for it, it's just ridiculous for
Mhm.
sure. So I connect
Yeah.
to my hotspot on my other phone, and I probably won't have any issues for the rest of the show. Hopefully.
Wow, that's weird.
Anyway, I was talking about states that are going after stuff. Missouri's going after D8 right now. Tennessee is going after smokable CBD and THCA. And of course, THCA is kind of moving up there, but they're even going after CBD in flower form in Tennessee, which is, again, highly ridiculous. Wyoming is going after any synthetic THC, which is funny because that might make Delta 8 or Delta 10 or some of these other ones that, need some alteration to be made. But once again, still 100% legal. Doesn't matter. Synthetic sounds bad, but synthetic really just means you're making something out of something else. So you're taking part of the industrial hemp and making it into the Delta 8, Delta 10. But that wouldn't touch Delta 9, which is, again, we can have that 0.3% legally in there. So that's a goofy one. And I guess Nebraska is going after Delta 8 right now. And so all kinds of, I'm sure I'm going to be reporting a lot this year on uh, intoxicating hemp, as everyone's calling it now. It has its own name. Um, so anyway, quite, it's just ridiculous. Again, I'm not against age restrictions if they really think they need to do something to protect us from ourselves. Um, again, no one's promoting or selling these things to kids. Um, in all honesty, CBD maybe, and again, I think CBD should be 100% legal for anybody in any age to use in the right manner, so to speak. But you know, this is going to be, and again, none of these states are looking at these other states that have all done this and all failed at some point or another. Although I think that once again, most of them will pattern. It'll be an age restriction thing, and with that, of course, they'll throw in like some extra taxes. So you have to pay extra taxes on these things, and you have to be a certain age to buy them, which is like a tax on being an adult. Because I'm an adult, I should be taxed more for something that I want, which is once again what a ridiculous scam to begin with. All right, let's check out the really cool DIY clay. They call it a clay boho wall. Okay, um, and they go through. They go through the different. They show you how to make all the middle pieces of this when we get it there. There it is. So all the white pieces there are the clay, obviously, and then the last step to making this is string the finished clay pieces together using hemp. Okay, so if you want to make it right, you got to use hemp. Uh, so that's the fiber that you would it's hanging and then kind of sticking out the bottom there, and then it runs through and holds everything together. Um, as well. Pretty neat little hemp DIY project, no doubt about it. Here's some good news, and I think I talked about this at some point when it actually was accepted at some point or another in 2023. But the rules that has been approved, the hempcrete has been approved as a building material, and this goes into effect now, excluding load bearing. Okay, for residential structures under the International Code Council. Now, it sounds international, but I believe that what I read is this is the United States, and I don't know who else follows the International Food Council, but it is big for us. It's something we follow, apparently. And then sometime this year, it's supposed to be added to the International Residential Code. And, and of course, and I still haven't found out. If anybody knows, let me know. Apparently, at some point or another, we learned that 49 out of 50 states in the United States approved hempcrete for building, not load bearing, not used in load bearing ways. And so that's great. We still don't know. I still don't know what state did not approve it, which is interesting, one way or another. I don't know if I can. I guess I can. I could probably figure it out if I Googled the right ways, but I don't know if there's a list somewhere where it says, the one state that didn't agree to this, one way or another. But if you want to look at probably one of the coolest hempcrete structures, check out what they're doing in the Ukraine. These are called the Gnezdo houses, and there's more than one of these. And they're like right in the middle of the water, and like there's one right next to this one, and it's like dark, but there's water in there. But those structures, all those complete structures, are made out of hempcrete. And again, they're meant to mimic kind of a natural cave look, which I do think they do, pretty well. In all honesty. And the Ukraine's a huge, huge grower of hemp. I think that they, mainly grow for grain there, but they are getting into, obviously, the construction aspect of this, because when you grow for grain, you've got those stalks of the plant perfectly good for making clothing and houses out of, and I think, once again, most countries that have legal hemp, especially for grain, they just destroy the stalks. That's like a byproduct they haven't used in the past. And so now we're seeing a lot more use for those byproducts, which is just a bonus for them, honestly. I got to sit on a hemp composite bike that was made in the Ukraine at one of the NOCOs one year. I have some pictures of that somewhere too that look pretty fun. So, it's the Ukraine is huge. And again, I don't know, it was probably at least 15 years ago when Ukraine was probably the original conflicts over there. I actually read an article that the United States government was imploring us to buy hemp seed from them to help out their economy, because they grow a lot of hemp. So, hopefully they can get out of this war and go back to some normality there, I suppose, in the Ukraine. But it's one pretty cool dwelling made out of hempcrete, one way or another. It's kind of interesting. A Kentucky senator has introduced a bill to increase the THC limit in hemp to 1%. Now, this is great because this is really what needs to happen. This is the next step in hemp, I believe, as far as the definition of what hemp is. It should be with no more than maybe 1% THC down. But the most interesting thing about this is if it passes and farmers start growing this hemp, that would not be federally legal. And so, although, it would start the process, I think, of the topic, you would still only be able to grow 0.3% or less THC hemp in the state of Kentucky, even if this law passes. Because the minute you grow that 0.4%, you're over the federal limits, and that's probably not going to bode well with the federal government. They're going to come in and they're going to marijuana. The next thing you know, the DEA has got their sights on, and of course the DEA has to be invited in. So if they do, move it up, a government agency has to invite the DEA into their state for anything, no matter what it is. Okay, and that's the official. That's the official truth of it, one way or another. So, but again, this is something that we've since we came up with the 0.3% being legal, almost everyone in the hemp industries agrees that 1% is a better number. 1% is a much better number, honestly. And again, I can't say this enough. Makes no difference how much THC is in the plant if you're growing for the fiber or the grain or the herd, that outside stalk part for the hempcrete. It makes zero difference. There is no THC in the seed. There's no THC in the stalk. So whatever you make out of that is not going to have any THC anyway. And so we can go back to the question that I used to get: can I smoke your jeans? Which I used to respond, yeah, with a big enough lighter and papers you can, but you won't get high because there's no THC Delta 9 in my jeans or my snow jacket or my snowboard. None of that. Okay. So, and this is the next move. They will not do this in this farm bill, which has been extended till like end 2024 now, which means we're in farm bill, the last farm bill, the 2018 Agricultural Act. And so, I think, I don't know how I feel, because part of me says if they have this amount of time, there's a good chance that maybe they will go after intoxicating hemp in the farm bill. And then that's going to just set things back. It's going to set everything backwards. It's going to make it so much harder. It's it's a ridiculous idea. And it's hard to believe that we can still go backwards with anything cannabis in this country, but we are in these states and possibly the federal government. So we'll see how that all works out. And I got a little bit more on that here in a minute on the show. Article 10 Best Nuts and Seeds ranked by protein. Okay, the 10 best nuts and seeds ranked by protein. Guess who came in at number 1? It's not a tough guess. You got it. It's to quote the article, it says, "These mild tasting seeds may be the star of the show," and it's true. They are. I can't say enough how important it is, especially for vegans or vegetarians, to add hemp to their daily diet to get their protein that they need to get. Because once again, it's comparable to some meats, but not beef or chicken or pork. But I figured out how it all worked out. But I've shown the periodical chart of proteins that Wired Magazine did, and hemp is way up there. And again, almost as good as actually comparable to pork, possibly, but it is second to only spirulina, I believe, in protein content by weight, from my understanding. And spirulina, I believe, comes from an algae or something that grows in water and is 100% harder to have as an agricultural crop than just hemp seed in the field. Guarantee that. We are starting to farm algae and whatnot, but it's extremely difficult because the only way to do it successfully, the water has to be the right depth get the right this and that. And so, I'm not saying, and I'm sure that they're building huge facilities probably to do this, to farm it. But why go through all the trouble? We can just have hemp. Use hemp. Speaking of hemp foods, how about this hemp peanut butter banana? Here is a very simple treat. It's 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. That's only 1 teaspoon of hemp seeds, and there's 6 grams of protein in that. And so, you're really trying to get your day started with a snack. This is one. I'll have another coming up here shortly. But pretty simple. Just put your peanut butter on there, sprinkle your hemp seeds, your hulled hemp seeds, which means they're shelled. They don't have the outer shell on them anymore. Chow down and reap the benefits. Your body will love you for it, no doubt about it. So we had another one of those best articles. I see a lot of these. I've been bringing up a lot of them recently. Best dog paw cleaners. Okay, and the best balm. Yes, the best balm. That was the category. Was the Natural Dog Company Paw Soother Stick, and so that's got hemp in it. One or either way, and so which really just tells me if you're I don't know how that really works for cleaning, but it was part of the 7 best dog paw cleaners. I don't know that it would really help because it seems like something more to soothe a dog's paws that maybe are tender or something one way or another. I'm not really sure how it made the list, but there you go. Again, I've just about yet to see any one of these best lists that doesn't have a hemp product on it, and this is another example how they found the ability to find a hemp product to add to one of these best lists. So again, I don't know who does them, but they're definitely hemp friendly. Hawaii farmers are having an issue. They don't be regulated marijuana. The new legal talk in Hawaii somehow hemp is. I'm pretty sure hemp is legal to grow in the state of Hawaii. I don't know how it's regulated now. I don't know who regulates it now. But once again, what they're trying to do, what's going to happen, most more likely going to happen there is all of a sudden you have law enforcement involved, and there is zero reason that law enforcement be involved in growing industrial hemp unless there's a suspicion of growing cannabis with too much CBD or too much THC in it. That's the only reason that law enforcement should ever be involved. And so, hemp in every state should be its own category, under its own rules, this, that. And again, by the Department of Agriculture. No other agency in any state should regulate industrial hemp than the Department of Agriculture. It's an agricultural commodity. It has to be, or should be, treated no differently than corn or cotton, or I should say soy or cotton. And there should not be just astrological fees and licensing and testing. I don't think any of that should happen. None of it. Not in the legal industrial hemp world. Again, if someone's doing something illegal, that's a different issue. It's a whole different issue. It should be addressed as. But basically now they preemptively decide that every hemp farmer is a criminal, and then they it's like they have to regulate and track and trace and blah blah blah, and that shouldn't be happening. Soy doesn't have to be tested at the end of the year for any illegal components. None of them do. Not that, again, I don't know what else has those, but again, that's just quite ridiculous, honestly. And it just hold true farmers back from growing industrial hemp, because a true farmer isn't going to put up with all that. They don't want that. Okay. They're simple people. And of course you may or may not know, but most farming is controlled by the corporations anyway. And so it's a whole different kind of world. And again, corporations aren't going to do that. That's, right off the bottom line. They don't want to go through that hassle. They don't want to have to worry about all that. That's just ridiculous. If they don't have to worry about it for any other agricultural commodity, they sure shouldn't have to worry about it for hemp, which is one of the greatest agricultural commodities that humans have ever used. for 10,000 years or so now. You know, as one of the oldest histories in agriculture and humanity, and does not deserve to be treated criminally ever again, ever again. Till we get there, we're not there. I'm sure of it. Here we go. This is your other breakfast food. This one's even better because this is really a morning starter. Okay, but this is a blueberry coffee smoothie recipe. So we'll leave this up here if you want to do a screenshot of it. But it actually has hemp seed in it, and then they give you the option. I love it when you're making it. You know, you layer it all in there just right, and then they give you the option when it's done to go ahead and add some more whole hemp seed to it if you really want to boost your proteins and omega-6, omega-3s, essential fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, potassium, magnesium. All of these things are in hemp seed. I recently saw a new hemp grain food. They're going to do or they're going to do a study. So it's going to be interesting to see, the nutritional values that we go on now. Are pretty accurate. But actually, actual content of some of the other items like potassium and magnesium and the other vitamins and minerals, what percentage of that, we know how much protein is in hemp seed. Okay, we know it contains essential fatty acids, omega-6 and 3, and we know it contains all those other things. How much as a part of your daily recommended value, as they like to say. Some of them, we could probably do more research on to get definitive numbers, one way or another. So that's pretty cool. And of course, I like it because, it's purple and green. We love those colors here. So get started with a purple blueberry coffee smoothie. And again, it's got coffee in it. So I'm a coffee lover. Can't go wrong there. You get your protein boost and your coffee boost, and man, your day is going to be started right, in my opinion. There's nothing holding you back after that smoothie, I hope. So apparently, we could have grown $55 million worth of grain in the United States. Instead, we imported $5 million worth of grain from Canada. And of course, that's because we have a long way to go before we can catch up with the Canadian hemp seed trade. But once again, just shows you the demand for just the grain, the food product in the United States. And once again, the Canadians are the preeminent growers of hemp grain for food products and whatnot. And so, I'm a one world person, but that just goes to show you that the potential in the United States is to grow our own $55 million worth of grain. And then have our farmers profit from that. And again, we're getting, it's a slow grow. Grain and fiber have a long way to go compared to CBD in the industrial hemp world. We're seeing more and more, and if the growers, the farmers aren't paying attention to how much we've imported, then that's ridiculous. Honestly, if you want to buy American, well, let's grow American grain. That's your attitude. But that only, again, that benefits farmers in the United States, and that's what this kind of proof is what we need to show people. Why should we be importing this? I think the next figure I want to see, and hopefully I see it soon, is actually how much fiber we've imported from China, just China alone, which is where we get probably 70% of all our hemp material probably comes from China, and then 30% comes from other countries around the world who are pretty good at growing hemp as well, one way or another. Okay, so Farm Bill's been pushed back. The hemp industries kind of got together. There's all kinds of associations and this and that, but they came together with 7 key objectives for hemp. Number 1 is regulate CBD as a dietary supplement and food additive. Hello, FDA, we're talking to you. And there are some bills. There's HR 1629 that they could pass, I suppose. And then there's S2451. Okay, so that's HR 1629 and S2451. Okay, so get a hold of your state senators, your federal politicians, and tell them you support both of those. They want to address the shortage of testing facilities, and reduce the regulations for grain and fiber. Okay, now that's also in some bills. So HR 3755 or S980 would do that. So HR 3755 or S980 would reduce the regulations for grain and fiber, as they should be. And the testing facility thing is just a joke, because the Farm Bill, the 2018 Farm Bill, stated that all hemp had to be tested in a federal facility. Okay, that has never happened. Every year they postpone that rule because there are not enough testing facilities to begin with. Okay, now here's the deal. I think Bond's fine with it facilities. I haven't heard of any private facility getting in trouble for faking numbers or doing anything shady when it comes to testing industrial hemp.
Frozen beach again, I guess. Seems to be. I know. Just at this point, we wait till see if Beach comes back.
Uh,
There's Beach. I hear him. Oh, I heard him for a second. And then that was it. The journey of technical issues continues today on the Heim Tune Up Show. And we're at the mercy of internet connections, basically. So we'll see if Beach comes back. In the meantime, watch the scroll below. See what kind of information we're providing, like where the Temptations locations are and such. Oh, do we have another beach? We have a second beach? Maybe.
Hey, look, that's the third one of me. There's a dark screen, and then there's the.
Oh, and now the audio is again gone. Oh, now it's back. There we go.
Is he?
Now we're back with
Oh
the
my
audio.
gosh.
Okay.
Man, the internet here is just
It's a rough day.
killing me today. Killing me. Okay, and so they also want to approve grain for animal feed. Should be done. They want to keep the definition of hemp intact, which, again, protects all those derivatives, isonomers, blah, 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 I believe. They want to repeal the felon ban. Okay, now that is actually HR 1428. That's easy to remember. HR 1428, which states that if you have a drug felony, you cannot grow industrial hemp. Which again is just what an absurd. It's just ridiculous. And so we'd like to get rid of that. And again, HR 1428 can do that federally. And then they also want to increase the THC level to 1%. Now, if we start putting pressure on them now, maybe they would change that. But to be honest with you, I don't see that happening. But the most interesting thing about that is if the increase of THC does go to 1%, that would actually change the definition of hemp. And so, that's kind of counterproductive to say that they want to keep the definition of hemp intact, but they want to increase the percentage of THC to 1%. Because if the THC goes up to 1%, they will have to change the definition of what hemp is. Because again, right now the definition of hemp is cannabis sativa L, period. I don't even know if they. I don't know if they had the period. It's really just cannabis, but I don't know if it says sativa because we can do indica too. Basically, once again, that less than 0.3% THC. That's the only caveat in the definition. And when it comes to defining it, that's the big part of defining it is that 0.3%. So if we raise it to 1%, we're going to have to change the definition of legal hemp one way or another. And again, needs to be done. If that was done on the federal level this year, that would just be vast improvement. And if they just leave everything else alone and do that, then we'll be in the right place. And of course, get rid of that felon ban, in all honesty, and change the testing rules. So there's some things. And once again, there's quite a big movement to reduce the regulations for grain and fiber. It's absurd. It's absurd that we care how much THC is in that plant to begin with, because once again, those byproducts won't have any THC in them anyway, and so they shouldn't be. Again, cotton and soy, same regulations, same way to look at it. It is officially an agricultural commodity, so there is zero reason to treat it any differently. You can get insurance on it because it's a federally recognized commodity. But I bet getting insurance on it is I bet it's still some high risk agricultural commodity because of what it is. Again, which shouldn't happen at all, one way or another. All right, well, let's see. There's not a whole lot of events going on. January 16th is the Science Pub Hemp Industry Presentation at Oregon State University Cascades. That's from 5:30 to 7:15, so that's coming up here in 5-6 days. At the Charles McGrath Family Atrium at the Edward J. Ray Hall. And it is $22, but it does include dinner.
And we lost the sound from Beach again? It seems that way. It seems we've lost the audio again from Beach. I'm not sure why. I can see Beach, but it was still no audio from Beach. It's been one of those days for the High Noon Hemp Show. That's for sure. Still nothing audio-wise. That's a shame. But it really seems apropos the way that the technical issues have been going today that we end on no audio Beach. I don't know. I'm at a loss for the different technical issues that we have and why we're having them. Like, I can't think of a reason why Beach's audio would go in and out. Like, I understand the internet going out, but the video continuing to come while the audio was out is weird. I don't know why that would be. So we'll see if Beach comes back to wrap up the show. I don't know. He's kind of trying to get to the events. Let you all know what's going on. Event wise, we're having massive technical issues, as you can see. Very interesting episode of the High Noon Hemp Show, to say the least. So we can bring Beach back, hopefully, maybe, to wrap things up.
All right, am I back? Are you there?
I hear
Are we
Beach,
there?
now I see Beach. There we go.
Hey. All right, we'll get out of here. We got just a couple more events, and then we'll let everybody get on their way with these ridiculous technical issues that we're having. February 6th at 10 a.m. CDT, the Tennessee Department of Agriculture is having a public hearing on hemp rules, hemp rule making. Okay, this is at the Porter Building at Ellington Agricultural Center in Nashville. Okay, that's the Tennessee Department of Ag is doing this. So if you're in Tennessee and you're in the hemp business, I highly recommend that you get yourself to this public hearing on hemp rules and hemp rule making, because it's going to be important. Because again, Tennessee is one of those states they're already trying to go after some stuff, and it's quite ridiculous. So that's February 6th at 10 a.m. CDT at the Porter Building at the Ellington Agricultural Center in Nashville. Last event, which is coming up, but might not be too easy to get to at short notice, February 24th and 25th is the India Hemp Expo, and this is in Mumbai. Again, I think that everyone should visit India. It was truly enlightening. The 10 days that I spent in India, and that was from Mumbai to New Delhi to Lucknow, I believe it was called, to a city truly in the middle of nowhere, out to villages, and out in the middle of nowhere, India. I did the whole gamut, I should say, and it's really incredible that those people of a billion can the way they can get stuff done and do stuff is quite incredible, and it was truly enlightening. So, if you've ever thought about going to India, visiting India, no better time to get to India than maybe check out the. And again, they're going to have, it's an expo, so it's going to have presentations. It's going to have booths of people selling hemp goods. I think India production in India is going to see a pretty large increase as we're seeing it more and more popular and accepted, in all products. I think they make a lot of material in India, and so I think hemp fits in that really well. They have a lot of people to feed in India, so I think hemp grain fits in with that really well. Um, and I'm sure that they have their issues that people can get help with when it comes to CBD and whatnot as well. So, um, you know, good stuff. India, they're really, I think they're really trying to up their industrial hemp game. All right, well, there you have it, folks. That is the High Noon Hemp Show. Once again, I usually close the show with a question, if I have any, or my thoughts, which I've already, once again, pretty much. I don't know why I added the beach thoughts thing, because they're always during the show. I can never come up with a beach thought that I have for the most part, but um, it's part of the show, and I'll take questions if anyone had them. You can right up on the screen right now.
Mhm. Is Beach frozen again? Seems that way. Another apropos ending to the show. More frozen Beach. If you want email questions, there you go, hemptations@yahoo, or send them in during the show in the comments or whatnot. So we have lost Beach again. been one of those days. Definitely. I think that's it. If Beach is going to return or not. I think the internet finally went to sleep at Beaches. Oh, there we go.
Am I here?
Yep, we're back.
All right, cool. Again, totally my internet's fault. I apologize, folks. I want to get you out of here. Remember, reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having temptations.
See y'all next week.